There's more malarkey going on in California. You can count on California for that, right? We can't really count on California for much of anything else other than to sit there and look pretty. California is like a really dumb blonde, and I can say that because I'm a blonde. I don't think I'm that dumb. But I can say that California's really pretty, and California sits there and looks pretty, and then does the stupidest, most mind-blowing, idiotic things you can possibly conjure up in your own mind, right? In fact, in some cases, you couldn't have even conjured it up in your mind because you're too smart. That's what happens. And we're just all sorry about that, but you're too smart. So anyway, we'll be bringing it to you every single day. The latest, Los Angeles decided to pass this bag ban. They're going to ban plastic bags. And this is another perfect example of how the United States does this all the time now. We've all caught on to this. Oh, it feels good, so let's do it. We have the Sandy Hook shootings. Feels bad. Ban guns. Feels good. Easy answer. Sounds right. All you really have to do is go back to Marxism and look at how Marxism looks like such a great idea. I'll never forget when I first read the concept of Marxism. I think it was probably somewhere between, I think it was the summer between my 6th and 7th grade year that I really took a hard look at the political concept of Marxism. And I thought, this is brilliant. Everybody's the same, so there's no envy, and nobody has more than anybody else, and everybody can be happy, and nobody has to fight over all the things that people fight over, and there's no war. This is so awesome. I can't wait to be a Marxist. That's how smart you are in 6th grade, just in case you didn't know, in 7th grade and 8th grade. And anyway, so Marxism sounds like such a good, it's a feel-good answer to a question that isn't really solvable because it's the human dilemma. And that's the problem. The human dilemma is that we have sin. So unless we're willing to take a moral look, like my book, Ladies and Gentlemen, says we should, unless we're willing to take a moral look at our problems and say, this is right, this is wrong, we're going to call it. We don't care what your religion is. We don't care what your color is. We don't care what your ethnic background is, where you're from, what you look like. Fat, thin, pretty, ugly, Republican, Democrat. We don't really care. What we care about is good and evil, because that's what our Constitution is made from, to make it simple. And that's what we're going to look at until we are willing to look at moral consequences and admit the truth to ourselves. Name one law ever passed in the history of mankind, not just California or the United States or certain countries or even this time period. Name one law ever passed that wasn't based on someone's perception of morality. You can't do it. I don't care if it's red light cameras, somebody's morality. I don't care if it's plastic bag bans, somebody's morality. And in a lot of cases, somebody's stupid, simplistic answer, feel-good answer, stupid, simplistic, feel-good answer to a problem that's not so easily solved, which inevitably, always, all the time results in unintended consequences. Take the smoking ban. It's a great example. Somebody's morality. You shouldn't smoke in restaurants. You shouldn't expose other people. Leaving completely out the idea of free market economics that says, hey, if you don't like the cigarette smoke in that restaurant, don't go. How simple. If you don't like it, don't go. Why is that difficult for people to conceive of?
Wait, what about the people being held prisoner in those restaurants that don't have the choice to leave?
Yeah, they don't have to go there, and they don't have to work there. There are lots of restaurant jobs. Just ask the illegal immigrants.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, but it's true. There are lots of restaurant jobs. In fact, I was reading yesterday, Phyllis Schlafly's daughter, Anne. Phyllis Schlafly, of course, the iconic, mega conservative, awesome woman from Eagle Forum. Her daughter, Anne, is a chef. And her daughter, Anne, said she started in food because it doesn't matter. She wanted to travel all over the world. And she said, if you can do food, you can work anywhere in the world because every kitchen needs staff. Brilliant. You want to travel the world? And Schlafly says, get a job in food. So there you have it. So if you want to work in food, you can get a job. So the restaurant ban on smoking is the stupidest thing ever, and they couldn't pass it statewide, so they did it county by county, and they got a result, just not really the result they were looking for. You know, smoking deaths haven't gone down. No. But restaurants have closed, and mom and pop businesses. In my own little municipality in Chesterfield, Missouri, where I lived, and we bordered a little town called Baldwin, Missouri, that we had lived in previously, where my husband was actually born and raised. And in Baldwin, Missouri, they had a smoking ban. They thought it was a brilliant idea. Little mom and pop restaurants that had been sitting there for 20, 30, 40 years, gone within, if not weeks, months of the new smoking ban. My favorite Russian restaurant, gone. The restaurateur ultimately ended up killing himself. Proud of yourselves for passing your smoking ban? You feeling good about that? Really? Unintended consequences, my friends. Gun bans, unintended consequences. Unintended consequences are even more dire, even more life-threatening. More dead children will result from feel-good answers. Mental health is another one. I've written about this extensively. You didn't like what happened at Sandy Hook. You don't like dead children in schools. You don't like school shootings. Mental health is not the answer either. Even though the shooter, the gunman, can almost always be qualified as crazy, guess what? Now, the mental health profession has made it so about 50% of you are crazy. Was that the answer you were looking for? Now you can be called crazy. Some boss doesn't like you, he can have you deemed crazy. Some employee doesn't like you, he can call you crazy and say you can't own your company anymore. You got a wayward kid who wants your money? Guess what? Sitting duck. You got a government who wants to take your guns? You're done for, my friend, because more than 50% of us can be labeled crazy now. And now the AMA is caught on, and they're labeling you. They're broadening all their definitions. Now obesity is indeed a medical condition, and they can call you obese and say you're unhealthy. Are you really fit to own a gun? I mean, what if you fall down, fat guy, and your gun accidentally goes off? Ooh, you better not own a gun if you're fat. No, in fact, the AMA and the APA together, they say you are altogether unfit to defend yourself and your family. Altogether unfit. Unintended consequences. There are a lot of them. Don't think there aren't any to this bag ban. Wait until you hear what I have to tell you about this bag ban. We're going to have David Spady from Americans for Prosperity California talking to us about his research on this bag ban. You will not believe the unintended consequences on this, my friends. It will shock your socks off. You could die from a bag ban. I don't make this stuff up. Also,